Right in my pot, I'm gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil, and then I have my kimchi, gochujang, onion, and garlic. We're gonna simmer it. We're gonna keep doing this until it kind of looks a little bit brown. I'm gonna add some pepper, salt. I got some frozen scallion stock in there. When you see a little bit of this crust right here, that's how you know it's ready to add the chicken broth. You can use whatever broth you want. And a half a cup of water. So just let this simmer. I'm gonna pop in egg. Just pop the yolk a little bit. Okay, when the egg looks like it's mostly cooked, I'm gonna turn off the heat. And the heat that I had was on high earlier when I was stir frying the veggies. But once I put the soup base, I turned it to medium heat. And then I put the egg after and then wait for it to simmer a bit. So when the egg yolk looks kind of like wet like this, I just turn off the fire and then just let it sit here. Hopefully I get like jammy yolks. Okay, for my kimchi soup, I want to make it high protein, so I have canned tuna here. Sorry, you probably can't see. So I have about 171 grams of canned tuna. Over here, I have about 95 grams of frozen cauliflower. All right, so then I'm gonna pour my hot soup over my tuna. Over here, I have my cauliflower that I stir fried and heat up, mixed with 50 grams of jasmine white rice. So I'm gonna eat that with my meal. I'll put the description of how many calories and all that for you guys, so you guys can check it out. Let's try this. I'm gonna mix it around. So my eggs didn't come out super jammy, but it has a little bit of a jam on the top, which is good enough. So I get a little bit of the egg, a little bit of tuna and kimchi, and then try it with my cauliflower mixed with jasmine rice. Not too bad, but I didn't make it salty because I don't want to eat too much salt. But yeah, it's not too bad. For the saltiness, it's up to you. My chicken broth didn't have any salt. If you want more salt, all you have to do is just pinch a little bit of salt, put it in. If it doesn't taste like it's salty enough, you just keep grabbing another pinch, putting it in until it tastes right. For eating kimchi, you kind of have to have a certain palate to eat it. I like kimchi as a matter of fact, and it tastes fine to me. But if you don't like it, I'll probably recommend a different recipe. But this is how I get my protein in. Just recipes are keeper. So I'm actually running low of this, and I do have another set right here. I've been adding it to my routine. So I think I'm just gonna kind of toss it like this. So we're gonna have 2 servings of the proffee powder, and 1 serving is about 18 grams. I'm gonna add my milk. So I do 8 ounces of milk, and this will be whole milk. So the best way to blend it would be using a tool like this. And I like to hit it against the rim of the glass so that it takes out all the clumps. And I keep doing it until there's no more clumps. And the nice thing about having it in a mason jar like this, you could kind of see where the clumps are around the glass, and just keep hitting it until it's all blended in. I think this takes about a whole minute. right, so we got my ice cup right here. And I like it best when the ice melts a little bit. So sometimes I make it ahead of time and then I do something or run a chore for a bit around the house and then I come back to it and it tastes to my liking. So it's up to you, but it's pretty creamy and thick, but it doesn't have a, when you drink protein shakes and it has like that nasty protein taste, it doesn't have that kind of a taste, but it does. You do have to get used to it because the first time that I tried it, I didn't really like it. But I also used oat milk. But then when I kept testing it with different milks, and I even tried it with water, I found that whole milk tastes the best to me. And this is how I've been drinking it. So I have 8 ounces of whole milk and then 2 scoops, so 18 grams per scoop. I'll have 2 of those and then mix it with the electric blender. And then this is how I like it. So I had the caramel flavor and I hope to try the other flavors. But I also got me the original ones. I can't wait to try this flavor too. The nice thing about it is that it's easy to make and put together, even busy in the mornings like I am usually when I get ready to go to work and drop off the kids at school. I can make this ahead of time and put in my coffee mug and then get my day started. So I already have my protein intake and my coffee all together. It's just quick and easy. And I could just go on with my day knowing that I already have. The bag says it's 10 grams of protein per scoop. So I have 20 grams of protein automatically with the 2 scoops of powder. But when I add the whole milk is about 8 grams of protein. So if you add that up together, that's 28. So cheers. Sorry, I forgot to give you some. So this camera angle probably doesn't make me look that good, but it's all right. We're gonna keep going. So I try to stay consistent with my workouts. I try to do at least 3 times of weight training a week, and I try to do 1 to 2 yoga sessions per week because I work a lot. I have kids, I have busy wedding seasons, busy weekends, and we got birthday parties, friend stuff, family stuff, doctor's appointments, all that. And there's only so much time and so much energy. But I realize that when I stay consistent and I keep coming to the garage, doing my thing, lifting my weights, and then trying to stay on track. Sometimes I'm not good at staying on track with my meals, but I just do my best. And then currently I am on a surplus, so I'm trying to eat 2,000 calories a day, but it's a strategic way, meaning I try to keep it low fat, high carb, and high protein so that I have the energy and enough protein to, get through my day and then build muscle and all that. Sorry, I'm losing my breath right now, but I just keep going. I don't stop. One of the biggest things that I learned in the past 3.5 years is consistency is key. I'm not saying you have to work out every single day, although if you do, that is good for you. I just tell you I work part time Monday to Friday. On the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I do weddings. Sometimes it's on the crack of dawn. And the only thing I appreciate about waking up that early and getting stuff done is that once I'm done early in the morning or in the afternoon, I still have half a day left. So I could catch up on my gym, I could catch up on my meal preps and etc. So that seems to be working for me. And if I'm a busy mom with all of that going on and I have 3 kids and I could squeeze in a gym session, you could too. So if your goal is to, be, I don't know, just do something with your life and stay active, but without being like, oh yeah, I have to work out every day or oh, I have to stay on a calorie deficit every single day. And if you don't know what a calorie deficit means, it means that you're eating like at a certain calorie intake so that you can lose weight. So a lot of the main parts of dieting is to diet what meets your, there's a TDEE calculator that talks about whether how active you are, how many times you work out, and then for your mass, like your weight, your height, etc. So it calculates it for you, and you can figure it out yourself. So I do measure my meals at least 3 times a week, because the rest of the week sometimes I just eat whatever is there, or I make food for my kids. Sometimes there's days where we have a hard time and we just have to, get something in our stomachs. So lately, I've been having a hard time for the past couple of months going back and forth on family stuff and like personal things. And I thought, okay, even though I'm not as consistent anymore as compared to last year, now that I have a little bit of a break, I could get back into it. So I am a little bit, on the thinner side, not what I typically like, but my channel isn't about showing you like I'm trying to be like this super yoked out muscle mom, but I just want to show you that I've been consistent. And I know a lot of you guys struggle with meal planning and then what to eat, how to be creative. And I try to be creative every day because I do get bored eating chicken breast and broccoli. But hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But I do try to be creative. But for the most part, most of the days are, chicken and broccoli. But at least you try to figure out something that works for you. So I try to pick out something that is that I like. So I do like Greek yogurt, and I do eat that as like a double serving per day. So that fits about 30 grams of protein automatically. Or if I get, depending on the brand, I would get like 32 grams of protein per day. So that's an easy couple of grams of protein right there. But yeah, I'm not here to try to show off or be like the most muscular person, or that my physique is supposed to be something that's like supposed to be praised upon or whatever. I'm just telling you that as a busy mom, I try to balance every single thing in life. And to me, I feel like that works the best. So I have a little bit of my fitness, I have a little bit of my fun time, I have a little bit of my mom time, I have a little bit of cooking time. So I have a balance of everything. And I also have a supportive husband that helps me watch the kids while I could do this. And then he picks up on the tasks that, I don't have time for. And then, vice versa. So that's how we work around here. And in my household, we teach each other about teamwork. And that's been working for us. So, you have to learn how to be proficient in like certain things and like do your own chores, because someday you are going to get old enough to take care of it yourself, and mom and dad can't do that for you forever. So that's our mentality here. And then hopefully I don't look too heavy set, because sometimes the camera doesn't do me justice. But I'm gonna do 2,000 calories a day, high protein lean meats as much as possible, and we'll go from there. Hopefully I don't look too chubby in the cameras, but it is what it is. Growth is growth, and consistency is consistency. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I do have periods of most of the year, because I am a pretty petite woman. I do have a majority of the months of the year where I do spend a lot of time lean bulking and try to do as clean of a diet as possible. But I do balance it out. So if I do have a birthday party or whatever, I do eat, the cake. I do eat, all that stuff. But I also, stay mindful of the calorie intake and my fitness goals. And I think the main part of me doing all of this is, I know you guys think, it's kind of silly that I'm this petite person trying to eat lean meats and I don't need to lose weight, or I don't need to, yada, yada, yada. But background story real quick. A couple of years ago, I landed in the hospital, and then I had some gallbladder issues, and the doctor told me I need to cut down on the fat intake. So I was like trying to figure out, what do you mean? And then I think on that year I was spiraling down a like little dark hole, because I eliminated all fats. So no avocados, no chips or whatever, right? And then I wasn't really feeling good. And then I started, researching things, and I also have a buddy that helped me give some pointers about dieting, because I wasn't doing good. I wasn't happy. So even though I was lifting weights and I was doing it every day, trying to lose, the excess fat and whatever, but it wasn't. I wasn't in the mood, you know? And then I started eating high protein meals on top of the activities, and I noticed that it kind of curved my hunger pains and whatever. So I found that that balance of having a higher protein diet is working for me. But I did have, the calculations that I figured out, and then I don't do it every single day, but I try to, and then it seems to be working for me. So that's the reason why. And I thought, why not show you guys how I stay on a high lean protein diet, show you some recipes, how I get through, the past 3 years. Because, I don't diet, I don't exercise, I don't even go run, but I still have to do something because I'm a mom of three. I have a life to live for, and my children depend on me. So that's where that's at. So, this is my story. And if it resonates with you, you could subscribe to me, and then I could show you guys more of like kind of like how I tackle my day to day lifestyle. And then, yeah, and then see you guys on the next one.